white intellectual supremacy has caused us not to learn about Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which is fundamental energy concepts everybody needs to know. So that's why I need to come to my Dharm Upadesh. There are basics of being human that you learn there.
This is the most debated topic in the modern world, I would say. We are more than ever confused about what to eat.
See, from these two elements spring the other three elements, which is water, fire, and wind. The human body is made up of water, fire, and wind. We are wirelessly connected to earth and wirelessly connected to the sky. But physically, only these three elements are there inside the human body. A lot of people have this confusion that there is earth in the human body, and there is no earth. We are not plants. People make food look good, but they haven't bothered about what it's actually going to do to the person eating it. They don't care. Everybody in the food industry has to care about what the consumers are eating. Otherwise, they'll get Paap. And they're getting Paap. You're not earning any Punya. That's because you're eating wrong. You have to learn to eat in a way that it creates Punya. That also I'm going to teach. The world doesn't understand these differences.
Because they're not cooperating. So they feel familiarity.
They don't want to learn.
Yeah. Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Namaste to everybody who's watching. Today, we are back with our fourth Dharma Upadesh, which is going to be about the Dharm of food. We are doing this Dharma Upadesh number 4, 5 about Sharir, about the body, and it's divided into 3 parts. So the first part of this Dharma Upadesh is about food. And today we are going to be learning fundamentals about how human beings were made by Prakriti to feed themselves, what are the factors that influence it, things like that, from the actual real perspective of an Akhada. Thank you so much, Guruji, for being with us here today.
You're welcome.
My first question about food is, this is the most debated topic in the modern world, I would say. We are more than ever confused about what to eat. It should be basic. It should be taught to us by our own communities, but it is something which people are most confused about. So, what is the relationship between a human and the food that it eats, Guruji?
See, in nature, an elephant will teach an elephant what to eat. A mother elephant will teach the young elephant what to eat. Mother crow teaches baby crow what to eat, So, and plants though instinctively know what to eat. They're like automated. They don't have choice. It just grows. They grow without much choice. But humans and animals have something called consciousness, which is more than what is present in a plant. While a plant may not be capable of being aware of itself, but animals are capable of being aware of themselves and their body. They protect their body. So humans also have this very strong instinct, and you have to trust in it, that it exists at least. It's been trained out of us. We can train ourselves to form new habits, whether they're good habits or bad habits. So everybody's food problem is basically a wrong habit formed above nature. So we must go back to nature to fundamentally understand how nature works. And then you can understand how the body works and what is food. What is our frame with food? What is our relationship with food? We'll get into all this, but let me start with nature. There are two big players in nature. One is the earth itself, and the other is the sky. These are two elements we have. We call the mother and the father element. The sky, because of its lights, even at night, the entire universe is awash. So even at night, it's awash with microwave radiations. And those affect the information on Earth. Those photons, when they come to the Earth in a microwave frequency, they're creating different kinds of responses from the Earth. And the same thing of the Earth, it's got its own frequency of vibration, which is called the Schumann resonance, which is around 7.8 hertz. So in 1 second, it vibrates around 7.8 times. So this Schumann resonance is linked to every living being on Earth. And we also vibrate at a similar frequency as the Earth. The more we go away from the frequency, the more sick we fall. So we have to learn to tune in to the Earth. But unfortunately, what's happened is we have interfered with these vibrations a lot. The Earth's vibration has been interfered with underground electrical cables and underground water pipes. So metal water pipes, which also kind of influence the Earth's frequency under your house. If you live in an apartment, even more interference, because there are water pipes and there are electrical lines going invisibly in the walls. And all of them are giving you different vibrations. So the body is like it's in a crowded market. It can't tune into the Earth. Like if you're in a crowded market and everybody's talking and selling something and shouting, you can't really listen to the person next to you also sometimes, It's like that noisy. And because we don't hear it with our physical ears, we feel that it's silent. But nobody's really experiencing the silence, which is basically the hum of the Earth. It goes, okay? The Earth goes, you can hear it.
Yes.
But you can hear it in nature somewhere. In a mountaintop where there are less trees, if you go and sit down there, or above the snow line, you can clearly hear the Earth's hum. The Earth hums. And if you tune in such a silent place, you can hear the sky's hum as well, which is more like oh. So these two together form Om.
The moment you said that, I have heard it before.
Yeah. So this is coming from the sky. There's an oh coming from the sky, and there's a coming from the Earth. And these are what we call the Earth element energy and the sky element, Bhuta. They're called Bhuta because they're not physical, but they're like a ghost, Bhuta, which means they are there in everything. The sky vibration and the Earth vibration, the Om is there in everything, in all of us. And the human vibrates with Om and also with Uma. When we breathe in through our left nostril, we create the vibration of Uma. And when we breathe in through our right, we create the vibration of Om. And these two alternate inside the human body. So it's like Om, and sometimes it's together. That's the human vibration.
I've heard it even for those of you who are watching, if you're a musician, they would hear this in certain tones of music which are generated while you're playing a live music or something.
Yeah.
Like it's the first thing that you hear, the very first thing.
It resonates with you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
This what I did now. It starts resonating in your body because that really works. But if you just go it raises your consciousness. It pulls you up. The sky has a pull and the earth also has a pull. Earth pulls you down. Now listen to this. Settles you down. Feel that?
Yeah.
That's the earth.
I was just like, my body's relaxing. Like
now you want to lift up. Oh. So that's how it comes. And all of this is the combined vibration of all the 9 planets, including Rahu and Ketu, which are not really planets, but they are vortices of energy which exist. And based on their influences on us, because these are all delivering karma to us. So there, all that vibration comes down, and it can be modulated. This one is modulated with your specific karma. So your karma actually comes out of the sky. That's why astrology looks to the sky to predict what will happen to you and to also recommend what you should do.
This reminds me of a carousel that we made on Instagram where you are saying that the predictive to teach a student or not comes from like above.
Correct.
Like the guru can sense it. Like,
Correct.
should I teach this guy or not?
And you'll see in the Purans that they speak about an Akashvani.
Yeah.
For example, there's this Asur, and his death was written in the hands of Shiva, at the hands of Shiva. So when he comes to fight, actually Shivji is gone somewhere or something like that, some story, and he comes back and he sees all this is happening. And he really loses it because Devi is fighting this battle, and all the devas have taken the form of Devi. And so finally Devi kind of fights him. So this guy rushes at her and she gives him the beating of his life, and she's going to kill him. And then there's an Akashvani saying his death is written in the hands of Shiva, not you.
So Devi had to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she said, And then she continued to beat him up, but she didn't kill him.
Okay.
But there's an Akashvani suddenly coming in the Purans. That's you just tuning into the sky. There's always an Akashvani. If you tune in, you can hear it. Okay, so these are the 2 basic elements. From these 2 elements spring the other 3 elements, which is water, fire, and wind. The human body is made up of water, fire, and wind. We are wirelessly connected to earth and wirelessly connected to the sky. But physically, only these 3 elements are there inside the human body. A lot of people have this confusion that there is earth in the human body, and there is no earth. We are not plants. There may be earth in a plant, but not in us.
Yeah, because people think...
We are mobile. We are not attached to the earth.
Yeah.
You see, what moves on the earth is fire, wind, and water.
That is right, yeah.
And the water also moves because of the force of the universe. That force is called wind. There are 5 primary kinds of winds. One is called Prana, which is a wind that keeps on supplying life force to the cells, energy. So it's a direct live energy source, Prana. It goes to every cell of your body, but it's generated in your heart. And then there is Apana, which is, which goes downwards. So if Prana is like the sun giving energy, Apana is like the moon. It does healing. It takes out toxins. It is what most people like, how we've abused the moon, right? We are unable to abuse the sun because it's too strong. We can't shut it out. People are trying also to block out the sun. What's your solution to global warming? Block the sun. Not grow more trees, okay? Block the sun. So, how we have abused the moon, in a similar way we are abusing the moon in our body, which is Apana. The sun in our body is Prana. It shines everywhere and it has its cycles. Just like the sun, it has day and night. So there are phases where the prana will not be supplied, and it's only the apana that is doing the work. And in those places, you shouldn't try to do things which require prana. Like, for example, going to the gym and exercising requires prana.
Correct.
You shouldn't do it at night because there's no prana. It's night for the prana. Prana is down. It's just doing bare minimum stuff to keep you alive. At that time, you shouldn't be going and exerting yourself. That's a time to meditate, to soothe your body, listen to good music, be in the darkness, not in the noise. Try really hard to connect to the earth and the sky in the night. This is what people should do. in order to be functional beings on this earth, naturally knowing what to eat. Then naturally you'll know what to eat because you'll be in touch with your body. So the only way to know what to eat naturally is to be in touch with your body. There are practices for that. That's what I'm going to teach in this Dharm Upadesh, which is coming up, the fourth one. I'm going to teach you practices so that you can be a natural human being and know how to eat. Now, there are certain categories of people. First category is Vata, which is dominated by wind. They have the three elements, but they're dominated by wind. Vata people tend to... I'll tell you some properties of the wind and what it does. The Vayu or the wind is like the electrical supply for the body. Now, Vata people are dominated by electricity. They have too much electricity. I mean, not too much. It's a kind of thing because they are very sensitive. Their senses work more than the Pitta and than the Kapha. The Vata is very sensitive, intuitive, because it's the electrical energy. You can just... they're literally telepathic, Vata people.
Yeah, I mean, so you're talking about the how a natural human being who is a Vata type human being would be.
Yeah. These are the wind people.
Yeah.
They're like the wind. They're not stable in their energy. Their energy comes and goes. You know how the wind is? It blows for some time, then it stops. It blows for some time, then it stops. Then it blows for a long time, then maybe it'll stop.
Sounds like
It'll stop for a long time. You see? So Vata people have to be very careful about what blows the wind. What blows the wind is the water and the fire. Because the water cools and the fire heats. So it creates a potential for the wind to blow.
Correct.
So Vata people have so much wind that the fire is not enough to heat all the wind in an even manner and send it gently. They are totally affected by external fires. So if a Vata person sits too long near a fire, they'll get overheated. If they sit too long near something cold, like if they sit in water for a long time, go to an icy river and sit for a long time, then the wind kind of... they get full bloated. Because you've experienced this.
Yeah, I feel
You
dysfunctional.
you have the Vata Prakriti.
Yeah.
So you will be dysfunctional in too much cold. You can't handle it. So you'll become so windy headed that you just can't concentrate. Your mind will be somewhere. You'll float all over the place. But if you sit near a fire, what happens is wind starts blowing from you and out of you. So too much affected by external fires and water also. Vata people, very sensitive. Little bit and their body will react like this. It's like if you have two instruments and one is very sensitive and one is not that sensitive, you'll see this one is vibrating a lot. Like if you're measuring EMF, electromagnetic frequency, you have one non-sensitive meter which has very high units. So it can't measure the small subtle stuff. And this one has micro units, it can measure micro vibrations. This one will be moving a lot. This one may not move that much. You see? Just like, for example, in Instagram, if you have like 500k followers, till it becomes 501k, you won't know that whether your followers are increasing or not. Insensitive. But if you open the insights, then there you will see the number of followers per day. That's the most sensitive one. That's like Vata. This insensitive one is like Kapha. Kapha people are dominated by more water.
Okay.
And, even in that there are types. Because if their percentage of fire is more, then they're called Pitta Kapha. If the percentage of fire and water is equal, then they're called Kapha, pure Kapha. So they have fire and they have wind. So this much water, this much fire, this much wind. If the fire and wind are equal, they're called pure Kapha. But if the fire is more and the wind is less, then they're Pitta Kapha. And if the fire is less and the wind is more, then they're Vata Kapha. So like that. This applies for all the prakritis. These are called prakritis, natures. So human nature is of three types: Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
Okay.
And they correspond to Rajas, Tamas and Sattva, which are the gunas. What is Rajas? Hero. He's only satisfied by one thing, becoming a king. That is pure Rajas. That's why it's called Raja, Rajas. It's called kingliness. And then there's Tamas, which is complete darkness. And that corresponds to Kapha people. They're completely dark. Whereas Vata people they correspond to Rajas, which is they'll only be satisfied in activity. So Vata people become natural leaders. We'll see that most leaders are like Vata people, otherwise they can't keep up. They'll not have that much electricity to keep up, So they have the highest electricity. Because the wind is the electricity in your body. It is traveling in channels in your body, which are made of the fourth state of water, which is called easy water. So there are channels. Those channels are called nadis. So the prana are traveling in the nadi. Prana is the one. Then there is apana. So I'm now talking about the winds because it applies to all the Vata people. You can all relate to what I'm saying. Because the prana is something which gives life force to all your body. But when you're a Vata, it doesn't flow like water. It flows like wind. And wind is a very variable thing, as you've noticed. Anybody's noticed, the wind doesn't blow forever. It stops. Then it will become gentle. Then it has cycles. So Vata people have to know their cycles. When the wind is high, that's the time to engage in a lot of energetic work. When the wind is low for Vata people, just sit, reflect. Rest and reflect. Vata people need a lot of reflection because they launch very fast. They need to be careful how they turn themselves and they need to really reflect upon it. If Vata people become impulsive, they get into mess very fast. Their speed is more. So that is them. They're also very much highly affected by astrological events. So the sky energy really affects them. The earth energy really affects them. So other people are quick to catch sickness because it's easy for them to go off balance. So they need to anchor themselves. They need to do exercises for that. And they need to follow certain discipline, which is allowing them to anchor. And that's what I want to teach. Right? Then there's the Pitta person who's like me. There's pure Pitta where, the water and the wind are balanced. I'm a pure Pitta. Water and wind are completely equally balanced. But if you're a Vata Pitta, your wind is more than the water.
Yeah, that's where I am at now.
You're at Vata Pitta.
Before I was pure Vata, but now it's changed a little bit.
Yeah. So your fire is slowly increasing. So now I would say that your fire and your wind have become equal. Because a very good time going on for you. Where you are getting the grace of gurus to keep yourself stable. So now as a Vata, you will be able to demonstrate a lot of stability.
Yeah.
Because of practicing yoga, there's nothing else. There's a secret here. You need to practice what I teach. First, you need to understand Dharma. So Vata people need to anchor themselves to Dharma. They have to do it. Vata people start becoming corrupt now.
It's a mess.
It's a big mess because whatever punya they've accumulated, they will finish it off. You see? So, in order to know about punya and papa, I'll just go into that topic a little because it's important.
Sure, Guruji.
And you may ask, what has it got to do with food? It has everything to do with food. Because one of our major sources for Paap is food. Another major source for Paap is your employment, whatever you do for a living. Another major source of Paap is your relationships with people, which are not honest. So a lot of Paap goes on accumulating. Paap means sin. Sin keeps accumulating. And what is sin? It's your bank balance. If your bank balance is above zero and it's in the positive, then you have punya. You're Punya dominated. So even if you have some Paap, your Punya can pay for it and you won't be affected much by anything. Even though serious things are happening in your life, you won't be affected. If you have high Punya, you can pay for it. So you have this bank balance, which if it goes negative and you start owing money, that's Paap. That thing comes and takes from you. Punya only gives to you. So you'll keep getting things from the world if you have Punya. If you have Paap, you'll keep losing things to the world. Especially a Punya, which is paying for this. At some point, you become a complete Papi because you run out of Punya. You're not earning any Punya. That's because you're eating wrong. You have to learn to eat in a way that it creates Punya. That also I'm going to teach. So the Pitta people now are fire dominated. So much fire. Okay. So they'll be good teachers. They'll be also good planners. The strategists. They're very good at that. You leave Vata people for strategy, it's not a good idea. You leave Vata people to do creative work where the mind can go here and there, then they love it.
Yeah.
So most of the Vata people are up doing creative work, films and artists and musicians, and most of them are Vata Prakriti. And some, by mistake, if some Kapha Prakriti person gets into music, they're not successful that much. The successful ones are all Vata, all. So that's how it is. Or the good ones. I would say the good ones are all heavily Vata. The others have to struggle. It's not that they can't be good, they have to struggle. They have to expend energy in it. They have to spend from their bank account. So your primary bank account is Punya. Your second bank account is your body stored energy, which is your Vayu. So, I told you already about Prana, how it's like the sun. And when the sun shines on a fire, it gets more hot. So, Pitta people have to be careful about the sun. If they get too much heated in the sun, they will die. They can literally die. Bajirao was a Pitta Prakriti guy. You know him, right?
Yeah.
Bajirao.
Yeah.
He was one of the generals of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Shivaji Maharaj. Ji.
So he had a bath in the Narmada, and you know what happens in the sun? If you have a cold bath, your Agni will increase to keep you warm in the cold. And with that increased Agni, he came out onto the banks of the Narmada and he died.
Yeah, that's how he died.
That's how he died.
Yeah,
Such a warrior.
in MP, we have
Because he's not aware of his Prakriti.
Yeah.
Pitta people have to be very careful about 3 kinds of food which are heating. And I'll teach you which are they. 3 kinds of tastes. You have 6 tastes. And I'll get into that only in the program. But you can look it up. There are 6 tastes, okay? And I'll go over all of them in the program because they are also made up of elements. For example, sweet is made up of earth and water. The taste of sweet. Okay? So all of the foods have earth components and some of the foods have sky components. If you've ever eaten a raw banana, you know what is kashaya. A taste called kashaya. Madhura is sweet. Kashaya is astringent in English. Nobody knows what it tastes like. But I'm telling you, if you've ever eaten a raw banana or a raw vegetable, what you taste is astringent or kashaya. That taste is made up of sky. I mean, one of the elements is sky. Okay, I'll get into all these in the main thing. Let's not get distracted. But this much knowledge is something that we all need to have. If we have this knowledge, you see, I've gone into the sun today. I sat in my car and I was doing a little bit of work in my car, which is only 5 minutes. But in that 5 minutes, it was terrible, So one thing is, if Pitta people touch hot things, they'll get hot. There was a brass idol which had come loose, so I was fixing it back. And it's so hot because it has been in the sun.
Yeah.
I can't hold it. And I'm getting hot. This touch over here is heating my head.
Yeah.
It's heating the soles of my feet.
Yeah.
By just holding the brass. For someone else, it's nothing, Pitta people can't take it. Pitta people even can't take electricity. They get
Okay.
very much affected by electricity, more than Vata people, because somehow there is heat coming from that. Infrared, something is coming, some component is there which heats. So I get very affected by electricity. If there's too much electricity near my head, like if I sit near a plug point, my head will start heating up.
Hmm.
But the thing about Pitta people is that three Agnis are blazing. Mool Agni, which is the creative fire, blazing. But they don't create art. They're not very good artists. They're okay. If they try, they can. It's not like they can't have taste. But they are very good at finishing things.
Yeah.
Pitta people will always ask, how's it going to get done?
Hmm.
Vata people will say, let's do this. Well, Pitta people will like, how's it going to get done? That's what they want to know.
Yeah.
They're very good in finding that. Because their Chidagni is also burning bright. Intelligence, very intelligent. And then there's no airheadedness, it's just focus. So some of the most mature people in the world, the gurus, they're all Pitta.
Hmm.
And you'll see that. And so while that's their physical nature, they can't eat some certain tastes which heat the body. Sweet cools the body, no problem. But there are other tastes like chili, which we call pungent,
Hmm.
katu, that taste. Heat, that's a different kind of heat. That's like air plus fire. It's a different heat. There are three different kinds of heat.
Hmm.
Fire plus earth, fire plus water, fire plus wind. Three different kinds of heat are there. So this katu is that air heat, which the pitta can handle. But the pitta cannot handle sour.
Hmm.
Just can't and should not eat curds and other sour things.
Yeah, and people make their gravies in curds and everything. It's just.
Pitta people really suffer because everybody makes sour food in India.
Hmm.
Why? I don't know.
And India is one of the hottest countries in the world.
Bharat is the hottest country and the worst place for pitta because the food is not designed for pitta.
Yeah.
Prakriti at all.
Modern India, Guruji,
Pitta
because in the
Prakriti
Vedic
can
times.
have dessert for breakfast and they'll be okay.
Yeah.
They can have halwa for breakfast and they'll be okay. It's good for them. Cools them down. So that's what it is. So we have to learn to eat according to our Prakriti, okay? If you just go on eating generally what everybody else is eating, you're definitely going to be sick. Your body will not work optimally at all. There will be problems. And at a young age, you'll have problems, and people are having problems because all of their food doesn't suit all of the population.
Hmm.
Some people can get away with it. The ones who can get away with wrong food are the Vata because they can throw it out fast.
Hmm.
So if Vata people get poison, they'll vomit it out.
Hmm.
The same poison will not affect a Vata person like a Pitta person or a Kapha person because all of the elimination in the body is done by the Vayus. So Apana is like the moon. And as you know, the moon rests you, rejuvenates you, grows you. But people are not growing. They're still emotionally a child. They stopped growing because when they were a child, they used to get rest at night. They were growing mentally. After that, they only grew physically. That too, they didn't grow well. They didn't grow strong. Because they have not been following the Prakriti. They don't understand it. They don't know where they are. So Pittas have to watch out for a lot of things. And there's a little lenience, if you're a Vata Pitta or a Kapha Pitta, there's little lenience about some stuff.
Hmm.
But pure Pitta, it's like pure Pitta. You just have to be careful because you're all fire. And Pitta should not get angry. Because if they get angry, they'll do something stupid, they'll kill someone, they'll do this, they have trouble controlling the fire of the anger once it starts burning. They have to do something, then only they leave it.
So Pitta people are would correspond to Satvicness, Guruji?
Yes. Because they have more control. Unlike Vata,
Hmm.
the fire is one of the generators. Whereas the coal, the water is only a receiver. But the generator of heat is the fire. So the fire is some kind of energy of humanity.
Hmm.
Pitta people are the energy of humanity. They're the ones who will back you. Vata can dream and lead. Pitta will back you.
Hmm.
When you decide you want to go somewhere, it will generate that kind of heat. So we are meant to work together, human beings.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Vata person is no good without a Pitta person and a Kapha
Everything.
person.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah. What's happened today is we are sticking only with one type of person. Like Vata people prefer to stick with Vata people because life becomes easy for them.
Hmm.
Because the world doesn't understand these differences.
Because they're not cooperating. So they feel
They
familiarity.
don't want to learn.
Yeah.
They have, this is white supremacy.
Hmm.
You see, white intellectual supremacy has caused us not to learn about Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which is fundamental energy concepts everybody needs to know. Right? So that's why I need to come to my Dharm Upadesh. There are basics of being human that you learn there. And then there's the Kapha. The Kapha is like full of water and little bit Pitta and little bit Vata. And if the Vata and the Pitta are balanced, then the person, like, if the wind and the fire are balanced, then the person is a pure Kapha, like just water energy, like ocean. Kapha people are like the ocean. They're blown by the wind. Kapha people need Vata people, otherwise they'll just be lying in bed all day.
Hmm.
If there's no Vata person in their life, they don't get motivated. And they're like the pillars of society. You can depend on them.
Hmm.
You can trust them. They're the ones who uphold principles. Even if it's a wrong principle, they'll take a long time before changing it. They just don't hurry up on things. So they're very dependable. And they like to be stable. They don't like change so much. They'll be like that only. They'll be that. After 10 years, they'll be that. After 20 years, they'll be that only.
Yeah.
And they quickly become what they are. Even as a child, they'll become the pillar on which their family can lean on. This Kapha person, take the weight of everybody. He'll just say, yeah, okay, no problem. And they don't get emotional at all. Kapha people can just move on. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever. They'll move on. They don't mourn for long. Even if you hurt their feelings a lot, they might feel a little bad. They'll recover fast mentally. Because water is like that. You can't push water out of shape, you see.
Hmm.
You can't punch water. You can't hurt water because water doesn't get hurt. So Kapha people have a low ego and they don't get hurt and they're like chill, very chill. But if they do get depressed, if you gaslight them, they'll take some long time to get gaslighted. But once they get gaslighted, then to get ungaslighted is another problem.
It also takes a
So
long
you can
time.
tell them they're not good enough, basically. That's what it means. Gaslighting, for those who don't know, means telling someone they're not good enough, in simple words. And they'll start believing it. And then they'll be performing low only. And they'll be okay with that also. You put them in jail also, they'll be okay with that. They say, at least don't change my jail. They'll get upset if you remove them from the jail after that. So, pure Kapha people are like that. You see? So, they don't want much. They're not high maintenance. And they love to do repetitive work. No change, good. So, these are the guys who become like weavers and things where you need persistence, sitting in one place, farmers,
Craftsmen.
craftsmen, things which require you to sit in one place and focus. So, sometimes bulwark, like accounting, all
Yeah.
that Kapha people are very good at it. Pitta people in accounting make a mess. They don't have patience. Pitta people are very impatient. They're like, now, everything now, let's have it now. But they're not like impulsive because they can plan it. They can see, they got fire, they can see. Fire is related to the eyes. Water is related to um, the tongue. And wind is related to the nose. Okay, eyes, nose, and tongue. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So Pitta is in the eyes. There'll be Pitta in the eyes always, fire. There'll be Vata in the nose always, air. And there'll be water in the tongue always, saliva. It's always there. So it's easy to remember. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Your eye is full of light, you see. So eye is capturing all the light. That's why it's fire. And so it captures energy basically. And through your eyes, what you see with your eyes affects your body. It also affects your food choices. People make food look good, but they haven't bothered about what it's actually going to do to the person eating it. They don't care. Everybody in the food industry has to care about what the consumers are eating. Otherwise, they'll get Paap, and they're getting Paap, and they're spreading that Paap through their food. So people are buying the food of food companies who don't care also are getting that food Paap. So you have to understand, when you have food Paap, if something goes wrong, you don't have the currency to get out of it. You don't have the wealth to get out of it, which is Punya. So you have to be very careful about your sources of Paap of the food. Another thing about Kapha people is that they can take on and dissolve things, just like water. Water is a universal solvent. Kapha people can dissolve things. So when you want something to go away, tell a Kapha person, they'll make it go away. They like that. So
They will wash like how water
yeah,
washes.
those are the Vata Kaphas. They just like to take away your pain, your problems.
Vata Kapha. Wow.
Vata Kapha people like to take away your problems.
Very few people.
And they are the ones in operations, you know.
Yeah.
If you tell them anything, they'll get it done.
Yes.
So those are the Vata Kapha people. So this is a lot of self-knowledge that you need to have. You need to know who you are. I'm going to teach that. I don't care how long it takes. Maybe it cannot be completed in one Upadesh itself. I might take 2 or 3, depends, okay? So just get on the bandwagon and start learning, because this is basic human knowledge that you've been cheated of, despite it being written thousands of years ago in our texts, our sacred texts, and people are not interested. So look, there were the Ved, the Puran. The Puran is easier than the Ved. Ved is not that easy. And then there is the Upanishads, which is the Vedanta, end of the Vedas. So that's also difficult to understand. People are reading it, they're not getting it. Because it's difficult. I'm telling you, you need a few births to even understand what's written in the Vedas. A few births of studying the Vedas. People want to start studying the Vedas when they're 7, and then they become 30 and they think they mastered the Vedas.
And the funny part is, Guruji, they are confidently teaching it out to the world also. Like,
Yeah, and you need to do it for births, not for years, okay?
Yeah.
Births. So that's like crores of years. Then you will understand something about the Vedas, you still can't master them. It's that difficult. And then there's the Puran, which also needs an above average IQ, like very high intelligence. Pittas only can understand the Puran. And in the Puran, there are so many secrets. So you can get to the depth of it if you have the eyes of a Pitta. Pitta can see right into your soul. So that's what it is. Like that, the Kapha, the Pitta and the Vata are meant to work together. And inside your body also, they work together. And you need to keep them in your particular Prakriti's balance. So what is balance for you will not be balance for me. It's completely different. But Vata and Pitta and Kapha get along with each other because in some way they help each other. You see? So you should have all kinds of people in your life. Vata, Pitta and Kapha. That forms like a unit. That's like a triangular unit. which allows human beings to function better and better. That links up into larger harmonious groups. And that's how the whole world can be linked if they had this knowledge that I'm trying to teach. So you need to understand a lot, Like, guys, I'm giving up this Dharmopadesh for like really nothing. But even if you mastered the next 3 classes that I'm going to take, you could be helping thousands of people. You'll be of value if you learn. So you need to go through it, right? There are going to be lots of episodes of Dharmopadesh because a lot has been left untaught. Think of it as whatever humanity forgot to teach you, I'm teaching you. Because I care. That's what Dharmopadesh is. Okay. So does that answer your question?
Yes, Guruji, definitely.
Great.
It has answered more than I could ask. This particular Dharmopdesh, it is going to be hosted on our website, link of which will be given in the description, and also the ticker is flashing right now on the screen. Those who have not subscribed can go and subscribe to that. You will also gain access to the previous 3 Dharmopdeshs also on your learning management system on your dashboard once you subscribe and log in.
Yeah.
Also, we have seen the philosophies which we swallowed, which were put down our throat, something like that. We tried to run the world like that, and we can see it doesn't work. And we can see we all are losing energy when we are trying to work a broken system. These Dharmopdeshas are for people who want to change the current system, who want to bring a change in the world. So we've made it clear who it is for. It is not for complainers. It is not for people who have lost all the hope with the world. It is not for people who hate, resent humanity, things like that.
No destitutes allowed.
No destitutes allowed. So we've made that also clear. And we bless you that you absorb the understandings, practice it in your life, do better for your story and do better for others in their story as well. And finally, you're able to offer a win-win situation to you, others, and also the environment. With that, we'll end this and see you in the Dharmopdesh number 4.
That's
Jai
good.
Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jayambaka